Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Martin from andrewmartin.energy, and this is your October energy transmission. Hey everybody, what's up? Happy October! I'm really excited to be sharing this this energy transmission with you. This is something that came to me today while I was doing a private client, or after I had finished with my private client. I just had this thought of like, oh, what if I did a monthly energy transmission? Because to be honest, I've missed connecting with you guys on a regular basis. But like I said in one of my most recent videos, the Stop Being Spiritual video, I just didn't feel like the energy forecasts were something that really felt like who I was or what I was doing. It just didn't feel relevant anymore, but this feels really cool. This is something that I'm really excited about. The energy work has taken such a prominent place in my practice, and so to be able to share these energy transmissions with you, hopefully on a monthly basis, let's just hope that at least for a while I found sort of some stability with my offerings again. So I'm offering this first one up as the October energy transmission. This energy work is all about allowing ourselves to be carried to the higher place. This energy work is about expanding into this new energy that's here. And even if we don't yet have the clarity or the plan or the insight that we've so been wanting, it doesn't matter. Because clarity and insight and wisdom and intuition and all of those things, they emerge in the absence of chaos. They emerge in the absence of, tension and anxiety and trying to have a death grip and like squeeze the blood out of the stone and where's the plan? Where's the idea? What am I supposed to do? So just unclench and let it go. So that's what the energy transmission is, and there's some instructions at the beginning of the energy transmission to sort of clue you in. If you've never experienced my energy work before, I kind of fill you in a little bit about what to expect and kind of how the process goes down. Just a reminder, I am going to be in LA October 26th and 27th. This is Thursday and a Friday at the House of Intuition in Los Angeles on Sunset. Thursday, I'll be doing private energy sessions, one-on-one clients there at House of Intuition, and then Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. is my event, Becoming the Whole Self, and this is 2 hours of intuitive insight, guidance, discussion, question and answer, lots of laughs, and powerful energy work. I'm telling you guys, these events are so exciting and they are not to be missed. So I'm going to put all of the information in the description for you so you can sign up, you can subscribe, you can share, you can like, all that good stuff. I love you guys. Enjoy the energy work and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. For those of you who are new to my energy work, the only thing that's required of you really is that you can hear the sound of my voice. So go ahead and get comfortable, whether you're lying down, reclining, sitting, in a yoga pose, lotus position, whatever it is, as long as you're in a comfortable position that you can hold for like the next half hour or so. So you don't have to worry or be focused on, can my body hold this? Does my foot fall asleep? Do I have a cramp? Just be in a place and in a position where you can just fully relax. I'm super excited that we're gonna do this together. So just let yourself be here to receive this. In terms of what happens during my energy sessions, I do sonic energy work. So it's a combination of vocal tones, of notes that I hold with my voice, and then intuitive guidance and insight that comes in during the session that I will also share with you, sort of a narration of what's happening. I never really know what a session is going to be, going to hold. Whether it's a live group that I'm working with, a video recording such as this, or a one-on-one private client, it's the same type of energy work that I do, but in terms of what comes through, it's unique every single time. Whatever you are ready to release or receive is what will come through today, because in essence what I do during these energy sessions is I open up a space and we create a bridge for the fullness, your full self, your expanded self, the entirety of who and what you are beyond your human experience, to descend, to come in, and to really merge and to join with you. And who better knows what you need other than you, right? So this is a meeting between you and you. So in terms of what to do after the energy work, I say that physically, the best thing you can do, or one of the best things you can do, is to get out into nature, ground your feet in the dirt or the grass or the sand or the water. Just allow yourself to be in the peace and the beauty and the balance of nature. That really helps the body to integrate and to stabilize or equalize these energies much more efficiently or more effectively. You may find yourself that your energy levels are a little off, you're more tired or you're more amped. You may find yourself wanting to drink more water. I say drink as much water as you can. You might find that your diet is a little bit wonky, like you want more food or less food or different foods. Just trust whatever your body is asking for and allow yourself to honor that as best you can. You can listen to the energy work more than once. I say give yourself 24 hours in between each listen, so that your body can fully integrate and kind of stabilize what goes on, and then you can listen again after you've given yourself a 24-hour rest period. These energies don't go anywhere. Whatever occurs during the session is a permanent shift for you, and you accept it at your own pace, you integrate it at your own pace, and so everything is happening in alignment with what you require. So it's not something that you need to get a touch-up done, right? This isn't like you have to get your roots done every 4 to 6 weeks. This is something that you just allow it to occur, and it integrates and assimilates at its own pace, and it knows exactly what it needs to do. I think that's it. Oh, one last thing. Sometimes the sounds and the notes that come through are really, really big, and the energies that come through with them are very powerful. So it does oftentimes create a little bit of distortion in the audio. Sometimes it will just blink out altogether and go into like a white noise or a static. Don't worry if the sound goes a little bit wonky. It's okay. You're still receiving the energy that comes through in the transmission, even if the sound gets a little bit off, because the notes themselves are not the energy. They're really just the carrier for the energy. So even if it goes a little bit wonky and you lose a little bit of the note, you're not missing out on anything, trust me. So go ahead and get comfortable. Get into your position that you can just chill out, relax, and allow yourself to receive for the next half hour, 45 minutes or so. And I like to start the energy sessions with some conscious, focused breathing. This helps to just kind of bring us together energetically. It really helps to ground us into the moment so that we can be here, present, to fully receive whatever it is that's here for us today. So just allow yourself to find that comfortable position. And for the breath, I like to start, for the conscious breath and the focused breath, I like to do the inhale through the nose and the exhale through the mouth. And when you're inhaling, imagine that you're breathing in through the top of your head, almost like there's a set of lungs at the top of your head. And you're breathing in fully through the top of the head, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. And then on the exhale, use the reverse image that you're pushing that breath from the soles of your feet all the way up your body, out the top of your head. And just when you think that you have fully exhaled, give another little push from the diaphragm to really release all of that air so that you can get an oxygenated, energized, full breath on the return. And on the exhale, you will hear me make the big sigh sound. This is something that I like to do because it helps me feel like I'm really just melting into the relaxation. But if it's not something you want to do, you don't have to. So we're going to start with a big breath in through the nose. Exhaling fully out of the mouth. Just allowing yourself to be present. Allowing yourself to simply be here. There's nothing you have to do. There's no requirement of you other than just allowing yourself to be. We're going to do another breath in through the nose. Exhaling fully out of the mouth. Just releasing yourself of any requirement or expectation. Just letting all of that fall away. This is not about achieving anything. This is not about being right. This is not about acquiring anything. This is about allowing yourself to be present in your experience in whatever way that's showing up for you. We'll do one more breath in through the nose. Exhaling fully out of the mouth. Allowing your body and your breath to find their natural rhythm. Making any adjustments to your posture or your position so you can be fully comfortable and relaxed. We're opening up now, connecting with that space of unconditional love and infinite compassion. Just allowing the energies to come in now. And immediately there's a lifting. This is an energy that is rising, that is carrying us up and forward. There's a lot released. There was a lot released in the past couple of months. And now we're beginning to get this sense of momentum, this sense of being propelled to something else. We may not be fully clear on what that something else is yet, and that's okay. Just because we don't have the plan yet doesn't mean that there's not one on the way. Just because we may still feel we're lacking clarity doesn't mean that clarity won't arrive. For this first series of notes, just allow yourself to be lifted. Allow yourself to be raised up by you. This is you coming to lift you to a new perspective, to a perspective that's more clarified, that's more refined, and that just allows you to see your life, your circumstances, and yourself through a clearer set of eyes. this energy lifts us to this place that's just clearer, it's brighter, it's lighter, it just feels easier. It reminds us that our true state is one of ease and flow and simplicity, of joy and satisfaction. We can just allow ourselves to surrender that struggle and just release our death grip. There's this sense of release, of like, a big exhale. Just to allow ourselves to be present and be held by the fullness of what we are. The truth of who and what we are is so much bigger than our human experience. The human expression of it is just a fraction, it's a sliver of all that we are. And when we get so caught up in trying to figure out or fix or change or shift the human experience, we see ourselves as broken, as unsuccessful, as lost, as less than, and we just forget that our experience doesn't stop at the end of our nose. That our human experience is really important and very meaningful and very valuable, but it's just a mere fraction of who we really are. So we just allow ourselves to expand into that fullness. We allow ourselves to hold our human experience within all that we are and see that it's an aspect. It's a part of us. We can have so much compassion and so much love for that part of us. But remember that it's not all that we are. So for this next series of notes, just allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to be slowly inflated like a balloon. And it's this light that comes in. It's this beautiful silvery blue light that comes in, and it expands through the chest and the shoulders. It expands through the head, through the torso, the hips, and the legs. And it just slowly, slowly, and gently inflates us to move beyond what we have previously known as possible, what we have perceived as limitation in the past. So just allow yourself to focus on expanding, getting bigger and fuller, brighter. There's this feeling of being reconnected to the flow. We oftentimes on our journey, even though we're always on the path and we're always in the flow, we oftentimes get this sense of being stuck or isolated or cut off when we're going through these powerful transformations and these big shifts in our lives, and there's so much chaos. We oftentimes feel so disconnected. And this is always a sign that the work that we're doing is all internal. I mean, it's always an internal game, right? There's never really anything outside of us that doesn't begin internally first, but during certain points on the path, it's not about forward movement. It's not about, momentum. It's about staying put where you are, having a seat, and just allowing yourself to go through whatever internal shift needs to occur. Allowing yourself to be present and to honor the need for that. But now we begin to move into a momentum that's more forward moving, a momentum that is expansive. This is not the contraction anymore. This is an expansion. This is moving up and out. This is now dropping the barriers, coming out of the cave, coming out of the solitude. It's the butterfly, busting out of the chrysalis, coming out of the cocoon. And this is the transformation that's on the other side of all of that chaos and destruction that is a huge part of these big shifts in our lives. So we just allow ourselves to continue to float up and out, expanding up and out simultaneously like a balloon that's being inflated. Just allowing ourselves to float, to release the struggle, to release the need to always be striving and doing and trying and grasping and achieving and acquiring and just let yourself be. So we move up into the shoulders, and this is where I always get the sense of burdens being lifted. And that's what I'm seeing. It's like a pair of football shoulder pads being lifted off of the shoulders. And this is the release of the burden of struggle, the burden of the belief that if I try harder, if I just sacrifice one more thing, if I just say yes when I really want to say no one more time, if I just continue to show up and do these things that I don't really want to do anymore, then I'll get my reward. Then I will be taken care of. And we just see that that's not the way it works. We can claim a new way that is free from struggle. So for this next series of notes, just allow yourself to experience the removal of that burden, the removal of that yoke from the shoulders. Just kind of shrug it off and just allow yourself to set it down. Allow it to be taken and just release it. So now I see there's this shift that occurs. We're in this new place energetically. It's like a set of automatic doors opens up. And we move into this new space. And this space has always been here, right? This is just the great irony of all of this, is that everything that we're seeking is already here. It's just our willingness to move beyond what we have known, to let go of the old baggage and the old stories and the old limitations and the old beliefs of what we are capable of and what we can have and what we're worthy of. It's the surrender of those that allows us to move into the new thing. Because I cannot carry my old beliefs of limitation and lack and struggle into a space that is limitless and abundant and full of ease. So we move into this new space. And right now, this is about being held by that new space. This new frequency welcomes us. This is like, this is falling back into a super, super soft bed. It's almost like a fabric softener commercial when, you know, they have the visual of the bottle of fabric softener dropping into a pile of sheets or towels that are really soft and fluffy, and it's really bouncy, and it just catches us. That's the image that I'm seeing. So this is just falling back into that sense of ease and allowing yourself to trust it. This is a huge part of it. This is like a trust fall. This is falling back into that sense that you are always carried by the fullness of who and what you are. That eternal, infinite consciousness is always expressing itself through you. It's always watching, it's always observing, it's always present. So for this next series of notes, just allow yourself to fall back into yourself. Allow yourself to just be received by what you are. Allow yourself to be held and embraced by this new, soft, nurturing, caring energy that wants nothing but that sweet joy of peace and presence and the perfection of the flow. Oh. anytime we just allow ourselves to fall back into our experience, and falling back not in the sense of giving up, but falling back in the sense of just dropping the struggle of of struggling against what is present. The only way we ever shift anything in our experience is by accepting things as they are now. And the minute that we accept it and we stop resisting it, it moves through us. And on the other side of that is always joy and ease. You know, we oftentimes think in our experience, well, I'm looking for joy, I'm looking for ease, I'm looking for happiness, I'm looking for fulfillment, but all I have is this anger and frustration or sadness or disillusionment or whatever it is, and so I'm trying to push that away because that's not what I want. I want the joy, and I'm afraid that if I let these negative emotions in, right, I'm going to perpetuate more of them. I'm going to vibrate at a lower place, and that's going to bring more of it to me. No. Because anger or fear or doubt is present doesn't mean that it's going to last forever, and it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It's allowing it to evaporate through you like water on a hot skillet. You allow that moment of intensity. You allow that moment of the emotion boiling and bubbling, and you're present with it, and you love it, and you thank it, and you just allow it, and then it's gone. And that's when the joy then can emerge. That's when the clarity then can emerge. That's when the peace and the ease shows itself again, because it was just waiting for us to acknowledge the thing that was on top of it so that it could bubble up to the surface. So when we just allow ourselves to be present and just kind of do a trust fall back into the moment and say, all right, I may not know why this is here. I may not even like that this is here, but I can accept that it's here. And the minute that I accept it, that's when it begins to soften, and that's when it begins to move through my experience. And as we allow ourselves to simply be present with what is in front of us, whatever is in our experience, then we move into the heart. And this is an opening of the heart that just allows it to unfurl. I always, whenever I see this in sessions with my private clients, it's the best analogy I can give is it's kind of like, a 7-foot tall guy that's been cramped up in a smart car, right? He's in this teeny tiny car and he's so cramped. And now we're just opening that up, and he can step out and just really stretch and open. So what I want you to do right now, if you can, is just to stretch your arms wide, to really open up that chest, open up that rib cage, spread your arms wide open, trying to touch your shoulder blades together in the back so that you can really just open up that chest. We just let the heart unfurl. And we're in this new energetic space that supports us now in really opening up the heart and living truthfully and authentically from the heart place. Because the heart is the portal to the divine self. The heart is the window to that insight, that epiphany, that guidance, that intuition. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and really be with ourselves and be present and drop the walls, drop the defenses, that's when the heart gets the signal that, oh, okay, cool. Now it can really open up and just let it rip. And it's this beautiful like peacock blue color that's got like emerald green sparkles in it. So it's just unfurling like a flag or a banner or just a huge flower just bursting open like in time-lapse photography. So for this next series of notes, just allow yourself to focus on the heart really opening wide. Allow yourself to breathe in and out through the heart center as we just let the heart really come online and really awaken. So now it's like the body is just buzzing with this heart energy, this frequency that just fills us up. Seeing big shifts in the energy field. It's much more refined, much less dense. As we let those old things fall away, the struggle just drops away. Now we're moving into the head and the crown, and I'm seeing this is right at the third eye, and there's like a jewel now that's present right in the forehead at the third eye. It's this beautiful deep violet purple. And this is again just the ease of clarity. We don't have to try to get clarity. We don't have to, clarity isn't something you achieve or something that you acquire, it's something you allow. I always think of intuitive or intuitive insight or clarity like the magic 8-ball. And when you shake that magic 8-ball to get the answer, then you just stop and you let that little triangle float to the surface. It can't float to the surface if we're always shaking it and always agitated and always chaotic and turbulent. Clarity is an absence of chaos. Clarity is an absence of turbulence. Clarity is that voice and that focus in the moment that just emerges and pops into our awareness and says, what about this? What if you did this? What about this idea? What if you allowed this? So as we move into the crown and the third eye, just see yourself. It's almost like a halo or like a helmet. It looks like a bicycle helmet of light. So just allow yourself to put on that bicycle helmet of light and just allow this frequency to work at the top of the field and at the top of the head to really just clear out some clutter, right? We're just shining a light in those old dusty corners and just chasing the shadows away. So we're just now tuning this higher part of the vessel and of the energy field so that we can connect with those frequencies of clarity and higher insight and thought. So whatever image you're getting, whatever color you're seeing, just let it be there. That's correct for you. But I'm seeing it as like a halo or like a bicycle helmet of light that's just being placed on top of the head to really raise that frequency of that area, those receptors in our mind and in our brain. So now we see just head to toe. There's a reconfiguration of the energy field. And things are just clearer, more translucent. There's a lightness and a brightness now that I can see. And we're just filled with light as those old dense energies fall away. Whatever we've surrendered has fallen away and revealed a much more crystalline structure. So just allow yourself to rest in this knowing, this sense of peace and expansion. Just kind of take a mental snapshot of how you feel right now. Let your body, your mind, your emotional self, let all those levels of self just take a snapshot and memorize this. This is an integrated frequency that will continue to take root in your field over the next few days, and this isn't going anywhere. And even if down the road, let's say you listen to this and you're feeling great, and then you go outside and something happens and all of a sudden you're frustrated or you're angry or you're, uneasy or uncomfortable again, and you think, oh great, all that energy work I just did is all gone now. No, it's not. You just allow yourself to be present in the moment. Allow yourself to be in your experience and fall back into it and say, all right, so here's some frustration, here's some anger, here's some fear. Hello. What's up, fear? Hello, what's up, anxiety? You don't have to fight it, you don't have to engage it, you don't have to resist it, you just let it be, and then it slowly begins to shift out of your experience. And then you realize that this state of expansion and ease and joy is always underlying everything, because that's who you really are. And who you really are is eternal and infinite and is always present. That's why you're here. if that spark wasn't focused through your human experience right now, you wouldn't be here. So we're just letting the energies finish up, letting them complete this cycle of the energy work, thanking them for being here today. And again, you can repeat this again if you want to. Just give yourself 24 hours in between each listen so that the energies can settle in and balance. Just become aware of your breath again. Become aware of your body. Allow yourself to come fully back into the body, anchored fully into the present moment. Give yourself a stretch. Wiggle your toes. And open your eyes. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here with me. If this is something that you enjoyed and you think others would enjoy it, please like, share, and subscribe below. This is the same type of work that I do in my one-on-one sessions. So I will put that link in the description of how you can sign up for a one-on-one session. I hope to be making these energy transmissions a regular thing every month. Thank you so much for listening. Have an amazing October. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.